we're going to look at this game that I just did where I played Soraka versus Lulu in lane. For some reason these guys did Nocturne as the ADC, and I will say that this is under this Medic account, which is not playing ranked yet. It's currently level 27. So, you know, I'm playing with other people that are leveling up and other people that are probably smurfing. I'll just give you a little bit of heads up. The Teemo here and one other one. I want to say the Rengar, but maybe not the Rengar. Rengar might just have. But the Teemo definitely knows what he's doing. Is he a high elo smurf? Probably not. Otherwise he would have really owned the game, but he did a pretty good job. Rengar ends up doing a good job in this game. My team, you know, I think they're just a bunch of people that are leveling up and figuring out their champions, just because some of the decision making that I saw go on this game wasn't always the best. So I just kind of had to step up as a support and, you know, just kind of direct people around, just because, you know, it is what it is, man. It's like if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it, and you're going to lose the game because you get distracted of the focus. So actually I want to check out this Teemo versus Riven, because Riven just has a hard time with this Teemo, and I think that's probably why right there, is just because he's ranged versus her not ranged. But you know, in any matchup, anybody can outplay the other person. You know, she's trying at least, but you know, she really needs to hit those if she wants to out the Teemo. But it's not a great matchup for her. And definitely by the looks of it, I see why. So anyways, let's go down to bot lane, see what's going on down here. Alright, oops, sorry guys. Alright, so here we go. We're back on my champion, you know, Soraka. So ahead of time, I told this Ashe that, you know, I play aggro pretty much whatever support I do, within reason, of course. And actually our club ASQ is actually for aggro status quo. So pretty much you know what you're going to get when you get me as a support. I will help push. I push hard to level 2, because again, that level 1 to level 2 is all about there. So now we're leveled up. So now you see me just go in and really start attacking their main guys. I saw that Lulu is level 2, so I do kind of sit back just a little bit, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. I'll find my poke when I can, and pretty much just go really hard, because most people are not used to seeing a very aggro Soraka, and that's pretty much the way I play her. You know, I mean, you'll see me get down to very low health sometimes, and I'm still going strong. And again, this is how I think you should play Soraka. I mean, you can play the healer. I mean, if you want to go like the other route, or go like more of a Nami route where, you know, you're healing all the time, you're stealing the healing. But I think that there's just a big advantage, you know, to just allowing, you know, an extra support in terms of poke, you know. And there's the Rengar we saw up on bush, so we're kind of hanging back just a little bit. I can't remember, you know, I do fall victim to the Rengar a few times, and I know my ADC does quite a bit. We saw that Rengar, you know, kind of went up around the back of the dragon pit, so we kind of paid, you know, a little less attention to him. And I see him kind of hanging out, so I'm keeping watch where he's at, just because we're messing around down here, and it's very easy to get tunnel vision on what you're doing. You know, it's so easy. I don't know how I missed the Nocturne there. I overshot him apparently. So anyways, we're just doing our thing down the bottom lane. We are playing a little far pushed up, you know, and this is kind of really dangerous for those that are learning this. This is actually a really dangerous spot, because you know, we could always fall victim to a mid laner or jungle. So if you look at our mini map, I will just pause it right here. You look over at the mini map, we see where Brand is, we see Rengar is in the top jungle. And the reason why we can play this pushed up is because Rengar did all his stuff that he did in his jungle. Now he's moving to the top jungle, and he's probably going to try to help out Teemo if there's an opportunity. So in this case, it is very okay for us to be pushed up this far, because Brand's not a threat, Teemo's not a threat, and we are pretty much dominating this lane already. So anyways, so this is what we do. So with Soraka, and you'll see this, you can actually get right between those two rocks, kind of where that little rock pathway is, where it's grass, like right there, and you can actually hit people at the turret with your Q. Sometimes you have to dip in the circle around the tower, and as soon as you fire your Q, just duck out. Because what's interesting, the tower will make the sound as if it's going to hit you, but because it can't lock on you at the time, because you're already out of the circle, you actually avoid getting a tower hit. So you'll see me do that from time to time. In this game, I think I only did it a couple times, just because the opportunity wasn't quite there all the time, and plus they got a freaking Rengar, man. It's like Rengar will hop out of a bush and just kill you. Especially if he has the stack. So I really don't want that. And Soraka's squishy, Ashe is squishy. Rengar wins very easily. Okay, so here Ashe gets tunnel vision going after the Lulu and pretty much disregards the Nocturne sitting right next to her, and I have to save her with my stuff. And it's like, look at the big picture. I'd rather somebody get away and all of us live versus you get a kill and then you die. You don't want that. It's better just, force them to back if that's the case. Because if they back, they're missing out on farm, they're missing out on XP. So either way, you're going to be ahead. Because honestly, the trade-off is not as good. So here Nocturne gets tunnel vision and ignores my ADC, which again, even though it's the other team, that's really dumb. You pay attention to everybody, that you have. Do not get tunnel vision. Because you get tunnel vision, you die, because then you avoid looking at other things. Like Rengar's coming down, and I probably did not notice this out of the gate. Oh yeah, this is where I actually run up. I try avoid by running to Bran, which is my fault. So I do what I can. I die, my ADC dies. And this is because two things happened, actually. Let's stop this and rewind this a little bit. Let's back up. Let's see if I did not see if there were any pings. Alright, hold on. Brand is about to go down. Okay. So here we go. So we're down here. Rengar's where he's at. Ahri is not back to lane yet. Let's go back to Soraka. Oops. What the hell? Oh, sorry guys. Let's get back to that lane here. We gotta get back here. Alright. I think we're kind of where we're at. I don't know why. I just went to the end of the game. Thanks, Riot. Let's see where we at. 1-1. Alright. Let's see. Where is a red death? Okay. Oh, here's blue kills. Here, we'll just fast forward to here. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Good old Riot here. And their lovely software. Okay, so back to where we were at. Gosh darn it. Stay on Soraka, please. So, we're doing our thing down here. Again, Nocturne gets tunnel vision, doing his thing. Rengar is actually pathing his way down to us, to the bot lane. So I see that initially, but then I, for whatever reason, think he's going to go into our jungle. But he passed back down. See what he did just there? He just hopped over the wall because we were pushed so far forward. Now Brand is also coming down, but there are no pings. None, because Ahri just gets... Okay, there's a ping. Oh, I think that was from me, actually. That was a ping telling Ashe to cut. And unfortunately, I die. Ahri, still no ping that her mid laner is missing. Please, for the love of God, if your enemy is not there, at least ping in your lane that they are not there. Because this is how we lose games. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's like, just you have to help out your team. If you're not on a voice chat, just ping. That's all you have to do. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Teemo's doing Teemo things, just being a troll. Alright. So mid lane, you know, I mean, Ahri's, she's doing alright. I think, I mean, she's not doing the best against a Brand. Let's look at the score. Okay, she's done a trade-off with him. Brand actually has a kill, thanks to me. He's got an assist. Rengar's got 2-0. Teemo's 2-0. Yeah, Teemo and Rengar, I believe, are the ones that actually end up scoring quite a bit on this here. I'm going to hop back over to Soraka. Alright, so back to our Soraka here. So one thing that, you know, you have to do as a support, and please stay on Soraka, right, is, you know, if your ADC is not confident, that makes it really, really difficult to do things. You know, it's really difficult to play aggro. It's really difficult to collapse on people. And they have to, and especially you're doing all this without voice. And that makes it extremely difficult. So, you know, the best thing you can do really is lead by example. Now, you see that I'm the one that's pushing forward. Ashe should be pushing forward. And she actually, you know, stunned in that particular case. But, you know, if we had voice communication, you know, she could have said, all right, I'm going to stun. You know, if I could get the silence on Lulu right after the stun, then we can have even more CC going on. You know, I can root her, and we could have killed her right away. But we didn't have that, and I do my best trying to save Ashe here. You know, I did everything I could, but you know, you can only do so much. I mean, some ADCs don't understand that. You know, whether it's Soraka, Nami, Janna, even Morgana for that matter with her Black Shield, it's like, look, it's not invulnerability, it's not super healing, you know, and it's not any of that stuff. So, you know, be nice to your supports. I mean, if they're doing you know, as good a job as they can, you know, I mean, you can't save stupid. That's one of my sayings. Not that Ashe was stupid there. Nocturne, you know, did his ult on her, and you know, we tried. I definitely tried to help her get away. And unfortunately, at the time, my heal was up, or still on cooldown. Excuse me. So, you know, I couldn't do anything really. So, anyways, all right. What you're gonna see is we do have a collapse here. Echo comes down, trying to help. Unfortunately, we don't get both of them right away. There's the Rengar coming to assist, and that's the last thing that we need right now is the freaking Rengar. But strength in numbers, my friends. Strength in numbers. Here comes Brand. I think he ends up taking out Ashe, unfortunately. But with Brand, you know, all you have to do really is collapse on him. Watch out for his ult. So we were able to do that. Echo did a fantastic job right there, bouncing around, just getting him. But unfortunately, we lost Ashe in the mix. Ahri comes down to help out with Nocturne, and you know, at this point, we're able to actually do some things. Here we go. I thought we attacked the tower there. I was like, what? Don't back. You know, if there's 3 of you there with minions, nobody else, by all means, go after the tower. Put some damage on it. Because there's no reason you shouldn't. Lulu gets a little too far forward for her own self. At least takes a lot of damage for that mistake. But we are also low health. We need to get the rock out of there. You know, we did a good job. We killed some of their enemies just to kind of climb back up because we are at a deficit. Because our top lane is losing pretty hard to Teemo. The Rengar is not going crazy yet, but the Teemo is, and that's really, really scary because, you know, you don't want to fed Teemo. That's like one of the worst things you can have in a game is a fed Teemo. So, anyway, so here we're gonna go back to lane. You know, Nocturne did his thing. He obviously did not kill whoever he was going after. You know, we're going to have 2-on-2 mid and a 2-on-2 bot. And then Teemo, oh my gosh. I was watching this somewhat during the game. Teemo's pushed all the way up to base. Oh my god, there goes Riven again. Okay, well, enough of Riven. She basically loses, but I'll just write off that she was having a bad game. So let's go back to our bot lane here, and Soraka do. All right, now come on, Riot, stay on Soraka, please. All right, hold on. We gotta rewind that. Let's rewind that a little bit. Let's see what happens. Okay, now if Riot will keep this on. Okay, so Lulu is at about 60% health. You see an auto come off right there. See, the problem here is that Soraka's in the front. I am not a Braum. If Ashe was closer, she would have had that kill on Lulu first. Even though I know, yes, technically she did do it first, but it would have happened a few seconds earlier. Okay, there's an example. Standing at the top of the arc for that turret and going after somebody that's actually at turret. But again, if your support is squishy, like Soraka, Janna, Nami, Morgana, do not stand behind them. You should be either at shoulder to shoulder with them, or or in front of them. I mean, especially if you have full health. It's like Soraka and Nami will heal you. Trust me, they will heal you. If they're good. If they suck, I'm sorry. Maybe you should stand behind them. But anyways, they are not a Braum. We cannot tank a lot of damage. The best thing that we can do is dodge. That's the best thing you can do as a support is dodge. And that's regardless if you are playing Braum or a Scion or an Alistar or whatever. The more you dodge, the better you're going to be. You learn to dodge. You learn about the mechanics of your enemies and what they're going to do. Like nothing's more embarrassing than getting hit by like a Morgana Q, that stuns. It's like that's kind of like awful because one, the cooldown is so long on that, especially at the earlier levels, and the second thing is about the Morgana Q is that it's so I mean the animation on it. It's just like watching a slow fireball coming at you at like 2 miles an hour. Obviously if she's right on top of you, it's hard to avoid. But when she shoots it kind of at her max range, I mean you should be able to avoid that. There's no reason you should get hit by that. So here I see the actual Rengar go into Tribush, and he just sits there. So this is where I don't think it's a very high elo or even mid elo Rengar player, because they would have known we can totally see them, and yet he kind of goes and hangs out there again. I don't understand what his thinking is. So anyways, so we just kind of like, all right, whatever, do our thing. I actually kind of bait him down because I push a little forward because I want him to come out of that Tribush, just to kind of get him out. But the more time a jungle hangs out trying to camp your lane, the worse it's going to be for him. Oh my god, here's where he jumps on Ashe. I try to save her. Nothing I can do.
Step right up.
She got stunned and then basically got claps on. Okay, so this is like one of the beginnings of Soraka holding the bot lane. Now, truth be told, I eventually do lose the tower. But a Soraka versus the entire other team, or most of the other team, it's really hard to do. But they couldn't really take me out here, just because, again, you have to kind of lead for your team, even if you're one of the weaker players, characters, I should say, on the team. So we kind of do our thing. Echo's down here doing what he can, which obviously I 100% appreciate having any teammate here. Let's see, I would imagine that's Riven coming in. Yep, there's Riven. So, because she's the one that had TP. And, it's just, oh man, it was kind of rough, because it's like, this turned into an ARAM game all of a sudden. Which I don't know why. I don't know why. Apparently bot lane was the place to be. In a lot of games I've been in, it's like, people come if they see that you're contesting the tower with a couple of you. Eventually they back off. Oh, and again, here's Rengar being dumb. You know, I'm like, how do you not know that we have that warded? Because I don't know if you guys noticed that I did place a ward there because we're playing behind our tower. And when you have a Rengar on the other team, the last thing you want to do is not have vision on a bush. So again, we're still holding tower because I know everybody's still down there. Now the thing with Soraka that she can do really well is that if you pay attention to your mini-map, you can literally fire those Qs off the map, you know, blindly. You just look at your mini-map and, you know, and just kind of make a wild guess, because if they're charging your tower, they're going to run right into it. And it's even better for you. So the other thing about Soraka, especially, you know, early to mid game, is that you still have to manage your mana. Because you see, I don't have much there. You know, I've got about 340 mana, 350. You know, it sucks because unlike Nami, I cannot heal myself unless I hit a Q. That's my only way to really heal myself, if I hit a Q on a champion. And you know, so basically that's my incentive. So my aura actually just came up, and I popped it immediately since we're all low health. But again, here I am doing my thing, holding the turret. Ashe should have been up where I am at least, but she's staying back, and she's got more health than I do. So I don't quite understand where we're at. Oh, and by the way, it was not it was not being lucky, not hitting that Teemo shroom right there. I actually, you know, if you pay attention, if you see Teemo drop a shroom, just keep that in mind. And this Teemo in particular is playing kind of smart. He's throwing them on the sides of where the minions would run. So, here comes Rengar again, trying to do his thing. Oh, he brought Teemo this time. So again, you know, I do my thing, and I can't remember because there's quite a few people here. Yeah, Nocturne kind of ruins the party for us just because it makes us blind. I try to save her, I can't. So I do my thing. So in this situation, you need to get close to your tower. A tower. You can run north, you can run south, does not matter. Get close to the tower and do poke. Riven ulted, did not kill anything. Here comes Bran. Okay, now our turret's gone. Again, I try to say Riven. Now, I don't know why on earth she's used Zanya's right there. She would have lived if she didn't use Zanya's, because I had saved her, and it is what it is. And that was a really, really bad flash of mine. Just erase that from your memory. But here, okay, so here I'm doing my best to hold tower. You know, the rest of my team is like around. You know, I mean, I can only do so much to kind of keep them off tower. But you know, with Soraka, you have to learn to fight with when you have like almost no health, and that's kind of what I did that entire time. It's like you just have to keep fighting and dodge. Remember when I was talking about dodging? You have to dodge all the freaking time. All right, let's see if we can get a little faster here. Let's see, where do we go from here? Alright, running around. They're doing some things. Alright, bunch of running around apparently. I know they're going for dragon at this point. So, there's not much we can do. Really, just kind of clearing it. It's basically just kind of an unorchestrated mess. I'm not the best shot caller by any means, but, you know, I can, you know, at least direct where there is no direction, you know. So here, I think we end up losing this because of that stupid Rengar right there. Yep. Yep, Rengar came around. I was victim of tunnel vision for myself. Just trying to help. Echo's trying to push top tower. So Echo actually has this thought down. I mean, yes, I agree. You know, it would have been better, obviously, if he was in the team fight. But, you know, you play the macro as well. You know, it's like, alright, so we died. That's fine. But the macro is going to win this game. Not just, you know, playing ARAM, essentially, with the other champions. Alright, so let me get back to Miss Soraka here. As soon as she comes up. There she is. Alright, so at this point... Come on, man. Oh my god, that's right. It's killing me.
Unstoppable.
So, I actually told the team, look, we have to go smash this bottom turret. This is the only way we're going to win. I typed that in text. I told Ashe, don't freaking worry about that. the Lulu there. And so now, I told everybody, you know, let's go mid. Let's get the mid turret now.
Executed.
If we can. So that's what we do. It's like, actually, oh, you know what? Hold on. I was one step ahead of myself. So because they slain Baron Nashor, one thing I did do, I pinged right about where everybody's standing right now, because they were far up. They were in mid. Anytime you have an enemy team slain the Baron, the last thing you want to do, the last thing that you want to do is stand right in the middle of where they're going to pop out. That's not good. Not good at all. So everybody's just kind of doing their thing. I'm trying to make sure everybody's healed. You know, it's... I mean, it's just play as well. It's like you play as a team, you can win. You play as individuals, you will not win. So this is one of the harder parts. See, the team did not pay attention to the Teemo shrooms. You know, when you throw them, nobody else other than myself made an attempt trying to kill them, kill off the shrooms. So, you know, you gotta pay attention, guys. Come on. You notice how Soraka only has like 40% health. It is what it is, and it's growing because I hit a few Qs. But that's why you can stay in lane. Again, you just have to be able to dodge stuff. You don't dodge, well, you're gonna die. Alright, let's just follow her. Oh, alright. Alright, while she's doing her thing, let's go down and see what's going on down here. My team's kind of confused on what they're doing. I mean, obviously they're chasing. Hopefully Lulu doesn't ruin their day. Nope. Oh, here comes Rengar. That's sad. Oh, goodness. Yep, that is the sad part about Rengar. Okay, now I come back into the picture. I see the Rengar. Basically, Rengar runs from Soraka. Yep. Again, dodge. If you know the range of other enemy champions, the better you'll do. If you know how to dodge, move left and right, the better you'll do.
Stars hear me.
If you know other champions themselves, like this Rengar, you will do better. Echo did a good job taking care of the Rengar. Alright, see now, there's no reason, none, that the team should have been backing there. They should have pushed the tower. I ended up the only one trying to push the tower, and then I died. And then the team's like, why did Soraka die? Again, you got, you know, just pay the freak attention as a team. And if you're the support and they're not, don't flame them, but you can use pretty strong words. You know, like, okay, remember objectives. You know, killing people is not really an objective. That's a bonus. Because honestly, if you can go the whole game without killing somebody, just say for the sake of argument, you get all the towers and the inhibitors, you're gonna win the game. But you know, obviously there are other factors. But the main point is like some people get so bloodthirsty and so greedy that they want to kill because they're like, oh, the gold. The gold. The towers give a lot of gold too across the team. My goodness. So yeah, so in this game, we identify Teemo as kind of one of our biggest threats. Rengar's a threat too, obviously, but Teemo's the bigger threat just because he's the most fed on their team. So, you know, like anything else, you want to take out the person that does the most damage or most potential. Alright, so now we should be able to take tower here.
Blue team's turret.
You don't see the chat, but essentially I told him, it's like, don't make Soraka tank this turret, you know, because basically it's like, look, it's like, come on, it's almost dead. You gotta freaking tank this turret. You know, if it's just 2 shots or whatever. Previous game we actually had a Jax that tanked the turret just to destroy it, which is all good. You know, if you're going to basically execute yourself essentially, but you take the turret, again, you know, that's a win. If it doesn't give the any enemy team any gold, you know, I think it's worth. Oh my God, Riven. Oh, she kills me. This game, don't get me wrong, the Riven as a champion I really like. It's just when, you know, people aren't that great at playing with her, that's where I kind of cringe a little bit. Alright, let's go find Miss Soraka. Alright, here I come. I see the Rengar. I say, here you go. Now, see, the Rengar already lost his best advantage, which is the element of surprise. And this is why I'm saying that I don't think he's that great of a Rengar player. He just has some of the mechanics down. But some of the strategy for a Rengar, it wasn't quite there, because, I mean, I have played against, and I have teammates that play Rengar, and if they get stacks, I mean, they can instantly, like, delete a Soraka. Even if I have War Monks, even if I have a Frozen Heart, it's like I instantly, like, just get blown up. So this Rengar, the fact that I was getting scratched, you know, not so great. Alright. As much as I love the directed camera, this is the first time. I'm like, hey, guys, can we go for freaking dragon? Please? So I kind of forced Ashe to do this. Now, a lot of ADCs that I play with, a lot, you know, we'll do dragon a lot. Oh my gosh, if we have a Shyvana on our team, we go dragon as soon as it spawns, pretty much. We'll push lane and then go through it, or go do the dragon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this game was kind of rough, as you can kind of see, because we have people all over, and even at this point, if you look at the scoreboard, you know, he's 13, 6, and 9, with almost 200 farm, which, the 13, 6, and 9 is the crazy part. I mean, the 200 farm, I mean, it is 31 minutes in there, so, I mean, it's not OP, but, I mean, it's not awful either. It's okay. But you look at Brand was the mid laner here. He basically didn't care. He's farming people, which is that's why he doesn't have all the cool toys. You know, because he has no money to buy them. So that's kind of, you know, his thing. Either he's a bad CSer, or he just, you know, just went after the kills. Nocturne, kind of the same thing. He's got decent farm. Definitely better farm than my Ashe did here. But, you know, I think he went after the kills too. And he depended on his ultimate for all those. And I did fall victim, you know, one time to his ultimate. So, you know, I can't knock it too much. The Lulu, I don't know. I can't speak to Lulu. You know, she's 0, 10, and 7. Not that I expect Lulu, or even in my case Soraka, to have kills per se. But, you know, the lack of assist there, with all the kills that are on their side of the board, tells me that, you know, she's not present, you know, in a lot of the team fights. So, you know, kind of arming with that knowledge, you know, the Ahri in our game was strong. The Echo definitely strong. I was pretty strong for the Soraka in this game. I mean, basically providing the utility, you know, for the team, and inspiration, if you will. Now, the main thing here is that as soon as Nocturne started his ultimate, you notice I stood right next to Jazz here, or Miss Ahri rather, and the reason why I did that is that so she could be right next to me, because if Nocturne jumped on us, I could immediately silence both of us standing in a pool. Well, not silence us, but silence the Nocturne, to prevent further damage from the Nocturne outside of an auto attack. So, you know, just these little strategies with Soraka, you know, you just play with. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. His stupid Teemo shroom with his Ludens. It's dumb. But anyways, and you see I'm still poisoned. Right at this point, I'm like, why the hell am I still losing health? And I'm like, oh god, he took half of my health from his stupid poison. That would be Teemo. So we get pushed up pretty far. Echo does a good job getting the top side pushed in. You know, and again, it's about objectives here. You know, again, because the other team, yes, they have the top turret pushed in. Yes, they have the bottom turret pushed in. But it wasn't consistent. You know, it just wasn't consistent. And consistency kind of wins games. And, oh, so you're going to see a really weird thing that catches our other guys off. They didn't know. Ashe was like, how the heck did Rengar get in that bush? I'm like, well, he hopped into it, and then he hopped out with his ability. And at the time, I assumed that he just flashed in, but because I wasn't sure if you could actually do that with the flower there, but apparently you can, which that's actually really cool. And they did that, so it's amazing you have a play like that, and then some of the other plays, the Rengar. It's almost like you have bipolar disorder with the Rengar. But anyways, Teemo's doing Teemo things. I mean, he is, again, you know, the most bad person on there. Again, that's he had a great example of why you tanked. You know, if you can tank it to get the tower down, tank it. I've done it with Soraka. I've done it with tankier people, but you know, whoever you have, you do what you can. All right, so now Soraka, we are 4-4-15. I think that's my ending score. But you see that we pushed all the way to the base. We've got the two of the three base turrets down, and essentially all we have to do at this point to close out the game is to do just that. Take out their main player, which is Teemo. You know, come in, heal, and help kind of clear a little bit. With Soraka, between Soraka, Janna, and Nami, she's got the best wave clear with her Q. If you do a mostly AP build, which is what I do, a lot of the times, I mean, sometimes I'll go armor and whatnot. It all depends on, you know, if we have super fed people or not, especially ADCs with range. You know, you want to do what you can. So anyways, we end our game with that. You know, the final scores, you know, Rengar on the other team, you know, 17-10-7. Wasn't the best Rengar I've ever seen, but, you know, Rengar just doing Rengar things and just kind of making it kind of difficult for us. Teemo, again, you know, it's kind of, he's a cancer champion, but he's played pretty decently there and, you know, kind of helped carry their team. I think if the Lulu was better, and Nocturne and Brand may have been switched, and Brand actually was a true ADC, you know, that actually tried to farm. I think, you know, they could have done better this game, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, Soraka, I try to make sure bot lane was always in good shape. Our Ashe died a few times, more times than I like. Echo kind of held it together, you know, starting out jungle. Ari did her part. And, you know, Riven, I'm sorry, but, you know, girl just just didn't hold up to the Teemo so well up in the top lane. I mean, God, she only had 40 farm. You know, might have been one of our newer players, or I hope to God it was one of our newer players. So, anyways, that's it for this video. I ended up with an S minus, which is pretty good. Soraka, I get most S's. All those flavors from Soraka, just because, you know, you learn to dodge, you learn how to use your Qs, and, you know, you be part of team fights. That's Soraka's world right there. You know, the reason why you're so big in team fights is, one, your Q, two, your W, you can heal people that are about to die, and 3, most importantly, is your silence. A lot of these team fights, at least the melee champions, and sometimes the ranged, they all jump in a big pile. It's like just a big pile of champions. You throw your silence in there, your team is doing abilities, the other team is not. That's how you win these team fights. So yeah, so Soraka is very, very strong, especially when you play her like this. Now, you notice that the W was not a priority for me to upgrade. Basically, my pattern of upgrading abilities is Q, W, E, Q, Q, and R thrown in there at some point. And then I think a forced E, and then max out your Q, then max out your E and or R, whichever comes first. And then you upgrade your W. Now, because the team was a little not confident in some of these team fights, I did actually give an extra point to one of my abilities for W, just so I could heal people. And the other reason why I did that is so that you know, when my enemy or when my team runs across Teemo shrooms, you know, I can heal them, because they did that quite a bit. So anyways, thanks for this video. Leave comments if you want. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you guys later.